Have you ever sat quietly at home and thought, I used to have so many people around, where did everyone go? Maybe you've looked at your phone and realized you haven't gotten a message or a call from someone in days, or even weeks. And in those moments, it's easy to feel like something is missing, like maybe you're supposed to be surrounded by friends all the time to feel fulfilled. But here's a little truth that might surprise you. You don't need a crowd to feel complete. In fact, after 70, living independently and with fewer social expectations can actually bring more peace, joy, and freedom than you ever imagined. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying relationships don't matter. Human connection is important. But sometimes, especially in later life, the pressure to maintain friendships that no longer serve us can become more of a burden than a blessing. And that's what we're talking about today. Let's have a heart-to-heart about why letting go of the idea that you need friends to be happy might be one of the most freeing, powerful shifts you can make. You see, when we were younger, friendships often revolved around doing things, going out, raising kids together, working side by side, or attending community events. But as we age, those dynamics change. People move away. Interests shift. Energy levels fluctuate. Sometimes, old friends drift apart not out of conflict, but out of life's natural rhythm. And that's okay. The first reason you may not need the same kind of friendships after 70 is emotional clarity. At this stage in life, you've likely figured out who you are. You don't need validation from others to feel confident about your decisions or beliefs. You've lived through enough ups and downs to know what truly matters, and that includes knowing when it's okay to release relationships that no longer lift you up. You may find that you prefer a quiet cup of tea alone on the porch over small talk that drains your energy. That's not loneliness. That's self-awareness. And that brings me to the second reason: freedom from emotional drama. Let's be honest, some friendships come with baggage. You know the type. The person who always complains, never listens, or brings negativity into every conversation. When you're older, your emotional bandwidth becomes more precious. You don't want to spend your golden years managing other people's chaos. It's not selfish to protect your peace. In fact, it's wise. You've earned the right to choose calm over conflict. There's also something deeply empowering about learning to enjoy your own company. Think about it. How often have we been taught that being alone equals being lonely? But that's simply not true. Alone time can be beautiful. You can finally listen to your favorite music without compromise, go on walks without having to match someone else's pace, or try out hobbies that you love without worrying whether someone else is interested. You're free to live on your terms. And guess what? That's where real happiness often begins. Let me tell you a little story about a woman named Anita. She's 74, lives alone, and once told me she felt guilty because her phone had stopped ringing as often as it used to. At first, she thought something was wrong with her. Maybe I'm boring now, she said. But over time, she realized that not having constant company gave her the gift of clarity. She started painting again, joined an online book club that met once a week, and began volunteering at a local animal shelter. Her days were full, not because she had a calendar packed with social events, but because she finally gave herself permission to focus on what brought her joy. And that's really the heart of it. After 70, your time becomes even more valuable. You don't need to fill it with unnecessary noise. You deserve to fill it with purpose. Now, I know that some people watching might still feel unsure. You might think, but what if I do get lonely? That's a fair feeling, and completely normal. The key is to shift your focus. Instead of chasing old friendships that feel forced, invest in your relationship with yourself. Take up something new, like learning a language, growing herbs on your balcony, or writing down your life story. You'll be amazed at how fulfilling life can feel when you focus inward instead of outward. You're not missing out. You're tuning in. There's a quiet kind of happiness that comes from knowing you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. No need to worry about judgment or keep up appearances. You can wear what makes you comfortable. Eat when you want. Sleep when your body tells you to. This kind of self-guided living can be deeply healing. You see, independence isn't just about being physically capable. It's about emotional and mental freedom, too. And that freedom comes when you let go of the idea that you have to maintain connections just for the sake of having them. We're not meant to hold on to everything forever.
People change.
Circumstances change. And the beautiful part of aging is that you get to decide what stays and what goes.